Hi everybody, welcome back to Three Sisters Homestead. So it is July 29th. I had planned on making garden tour once a month, if not twice a month this summer, but you guys see that definitely has not happened. But I figured I would take you guys around. It is the end of July and show you what's going on in the garden. It does not look great, I can tell you that. But I want to show you guys the truth. The reality of what is going on our homestead. So, as you guys can see, there is grass growing. There's weeds that are like thigh high on me. But there are things that are going well, and the garden is producing. So over here, we had a few little flowers come up. The spot that we wanted it to be wildflowers, but you see not really a whole lot. That tomato hasn't done anything. This zinnia is looking really sad. The lettuce has came and went. It is going to seed. We need to pull all of this out. I pulled out a couple pockets and just gave it to the baby turkeys. But we need to pull all of this out and give it to the pig and the chickens. The bean trellis turned out pretty good. It's a little sparse, but it's still producing. We have a bunch of beans. I can show you guys those in a little while. The green stalk full of petunias is beautiful. There's a bunch of dead ones because nobody's deadheading it, but all of these, except for the red ones in here, I started from seed. So this turned out really good. I'm in love with it. It's looking kind of sad right now because it needs deadheaded and watered, but it's really good. And there's like 3 spots where I put a nasturtium in, I think, where it's empty. But yeah, they look really good. And the other green stalk, this is full of strawberries, and a couple nasturtiums. So these strawberries have done really well. That one put off a runner and it has rooted into that pocket. Now it's putting off another runner. So I'm going to put that one down into that pocket. But yeah, that's looking really good. We've gotten a lot of strawberries off of this. Not enough to do anything with, just enough for snacking. I was putting off another runner too. But yeah, that turned out pretty good. This area is kind of one of our fails. I did reseed it. You can see there's some coming up. That is collards all in this area, and weeds. You can see all the little weeds in there. And then a zinnia. Looks like these spots aren't got anything in there either. And then we'll get to this mess in just a second. This pepper box, there were weeds in here that were up to my waist, taller than my waist. We pulled all of them out, and now the peppers are definitely recovering. They are really behind, but honestly, that'll be okay. And then I got some more peppers that I put in here. I got these peppers that look really short and stunted for, I think it was a nickel each. So there's a bunch of them that are short and stumpy in there. Those are the ones that I got for a nickel, and they were really yellow, but they're coming back. So those will be later as well, but it'll be fine. Okay, so let's talk about this. This is where all of our onions were. Most of our onions have either gone missing, as in this row, the onions are not there. We had a possum or a raccoon in here or something. We're not sure which, but it was in here eating things. But a lot of these onions in this row are still here. We have harvested a couple of them, and those ones are pretty small. See, that one's ready. That one's full over and dead. We need to pick that one. That one's getting all right. But yeah, there's some in here. They're just in the grass. This one It's like completely empty. There's maybe one or two, and I think there's a couple leeks. This row is also just completely empty. There's nothing in this row at all. And then this next one, there was this weed fabric on it, and my sister's puppies keep getting in here and tearing it up. So that's gone. These are the jalapenos. They're looking pretty sparse. And again, more weeds. Back here, these are really hot peppers. Those are the habaneros. But this row isn't looking too bad. It's a little crowded, a little crazy. We got this cherry tomato that's kind of taken over in here. Need to do something about it, and I haven't had the chance. And then our Roma tomatoes, I didn't trim them at all. So I usually prune them, the Roma tomatoes, but I didn't prune them at all this year. And you can see why I do it. It just looks like a crazy mess. There's birds over there playing in the dirt. But like in this one, you can't even get down there. This one, it's a little bit better. These Roma tomatoes seem to be smaller than those ones. Those are the ones that I saved seed from and started, these 2 rows. And then these 4 rows are Roma tomatoes that I got from Menards. So they're a lot smaller. You can definitely see the difference here and how small these are compared to the ones that I saved seed from for the past couple of years. Those are a lot bigger, a lot bushier. They have more on them. They did get cross-pollinated, so they're not all perfect Romas. Like this one kind of looks like a pear, and then there's some over there that look like globes, but we don't care what they look like. A tomato is going to produce salsa and sauce for us no matter what. And then here is Great Grandpa Frank's cages again. And this is more beans. There are a couple flowers here on the end. A couple sunflowers. They're getting choked out by weeds. And this is an African marigold. These get a lot bigger than the regular French marigolds. And if you saw back there, we did get a couple pools. So that's what that is back there, if you guys seen that. And then this row is the okra, and again, it was really sparse. We did reseed it, so hopefully we'll get some more coming up. But ouch, these things are really pokey. If you don't know, okra, it has like these spines, these pokey spines. You can get varieties that are spineless, but the ones that are pokey, some reason do a lot better here for us. So those are the ones we've stuck with. But yeah, there are some okras in there. They are producing. I've harvested a little bit off of them already. Most of them I've just eaten out in the garden, but a handful have made it into the freezer. So there are some in there. You see there's little ones starting there and there, but there's a couple more throughout the whole row that are popping up. This one is the spineless variety, the green one. So this one has a little bit of pokies, but not really. That one I don't mind touching. That one's the red one. And it goes to the end here. And another zinnia. And then right here behind the bean trellis, we had some artichokes in here. You see, that's the only one that survived. And it's really not doing much. Some zinnias, nasturtiums. But I went back through here and planted some more squash, because our squash that we had in that row all died. So, and there's a sunflower in the middle. Y'all don't even want to see the sitting area over here. It is trashed. Literally, it is terrible. But yeah, just so you know, sitting area, it is a disaster. This whole row, we ended up putting zinnias in. And I think that this is the best part of the garden for me right now. The happiest part of the garden. Everything else just looks like a disaster. I really like these ones. I think those are my favorite ones so far. We have a Cosmo, a sad Cosmo back there. We tried to You see the string, hold it up, but that didn't work. Another zinnia. And then we put this little piece of extra trellis here and a noodle on it so that the kids wouldn't stab themselves. But that's just holding up another flower. A zinnia. And what are these called? These are called lady's thumb or something. Pink lady's thumb. I don't remember. It's just a wildflower. People call it a weed, but it's a wildflower. Big African marigold on the end here. There is a vineweed intertwined in this. And this is, yes, Popeye. Popeye had to say something to you guys. This is our slicer tomato row. So our slicing tomato row looks a lot better than it did last year. But there's not a whole lot of fruit set on this yet. We had a whole bunch of really hot days. So the blossoms were just kind of falling off when they were blossoming. But now they're setting some more, and it hasn't been quite as hot, so they're starting to actually set fruit now. The tags, they're down there. I have no idea at this point, and I don't care. I just don't care which varieties it is. We'll see what they are when they turn color. That one is clearly one of the dark ones. That one's looking really good. And then you see all the fruit on this one too. And then this one's potato leaf, so this is gonna be a Brandywine. But yeah, they're not doing terrible, but they're not great. They could be doing better. They need tied up again, and I haven't gotten to that either. Okay, so we will go to the back here. Yes, there's an extension cord that's running out to the pump for the pool. These were all onions as well. These onions, see how tall these weeds are, guys? It's just out of hand. There are onions in here that are good sized. Oh, that's a softball. These are pretty decent size. These are bigger than they've grown before, so I'm happy with that. But we need to get in there and just pull those out. It's all down this row. And then this row, we had pulled the weeds out. We'd started to. And then the onions that were in here got completely sunburnt and died. So I reseeded this with more beans. And I put more in there now that those other ones haven't came up. So those just need to be given a few more days. And they'll pop up. More onions. These ones look pretty good too. This whole row is full of onions. This is probably the most successful row of onions. And our tomatillo and cherry tomatoes. So, if you guys recall, I told you in the last one that I had only had one surviving tomatillo plant. Well, I had bought, what was it, 5 or 6 more and put them in here. Well, yeah, those did really well. And they're also all over here, just volunteered. They're all over back here in the corn volunteered. So we will not have a shortage of tomatillos this year. Okay, like this one is growing across the walkway. We need to tie that back up again. And those are all of our cherry tomatoes, guys. Look how tall they are. This is the best cherry tomato year we've had in probably 3 years. They are taller than I am. They look fantastic. So we just came through and harvested in a gallon baggie, and I'll put a picture of that in right here. That is our sad and terrible looking garden. And now we are going to go out back here. I know you guys already peeped the corn, but the corn, there was some here. I decided that we needed to cut a gate here to the back of the garden so we can get back here, because it was just really irritating to have to walk all the way around the other side of the property to get out here. But yeah, the corn is doing pretty good. Again, lots of weeds. There's vine weed everywhere. I hate this stuff. I wish we could eradicate it, but it just keeps coming up more. But I think that these corn are about to start tasseling. These are only going to get about this tall from my understanding. And then they'll start to tassel or put on ears, whichever one comes first. They're baby corns. So they shouldn't get a whole bunch taller, I don't believe. And our cucumber and sunflowers turned out pretty well. You can see all of our sunflowers. We have cucumbers. I harvested a bunch of them already. There are a few on here growing still. Those ones aren't looking too hot. There are cucumber beetles in here, if you've ever seen those. And then there's some over here too. And here. And there's Willie. Hi, Wilbur! Well, yeah, these ones looking all right. But I'm loving the sea of sunflowers. The chocolate cherry ones, those really dark. Let me get over there and show you. This is the chocolate cherry tomato, or chocolate cherry sunflower. Oh, look. Hello, friend. But, yep, I just wanted to show you guys what's going on, the reality. Wow, yep, this is reality for you too. The reality of what's going on in our garden, because I don't want to get on here and be fake. I don't want to get on here after we attempt to clean this up. I don't think that's even going to happen, to be honest with you. There's no way that we can get this all under control and maintain harvesting and canning as well. There's just no way. It's not happening. So, yep, that is the end of July, beginning of August garden for you. So, let me know how your guys' gardens are going. I would like to know, because I feel like a failure, but in the other hand, I know that this is a reality for a lot of people, and it's still producing. There's still a lot of stuff, so I don't really feel that bad about it. I just don't. It upsets me, but it is what it is. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.